child at 5.
Well, I think we've always managed to tell each other the really important things. You know, I have. I mean, I'm sure you've done the same, right?
Hello?
Morgan? I didn't really expect to find anybody in your room. I thought you'd be out in the midday sun shooting a commercial.
I'm on my lunch break now. I was just checking my hair and makeup, and I'm going back to work. How are you?
I'm fine. How are things going down there?
They couldn't be better. Having Kelly here has really helped me more than I can say. I want to thank you again for everything you did to arrange it.
Well, listen, don't thank me. It was Sarah's idea. I hope that Kelly is cracking the books down there. He's got a lot of making up to do when he comes back.
He knows, and he's studying every minute of the day while I'm working.
Good. Glad to hear it. Is he around? I'd like to talk to him. I want to make sure that he'll be able to check the house when he gets back. I'm going to go away for a while.
I'm afraid he's not here yet. I don't really know where he is. I checked the pool, but he's not down there, and I think that he's probably out doing some sightseeing on his own.
What's more important?
I don't know what to do. We've searched the house several times. There's not a sign of Helena. Now, she had her breakfast in Nola's room, and then when Fritz took her luncheon tray up, he found the room empty.
I just wonder what Helena is up to with all these mysterious disappearances of hers.
Have you talked to her yet about her contacting Silas Crocker's associates?
No, not yet. I've been on the phone all morning with the insurance company, talking to them about extra insurance for the Golden Cradle and the other artifacts. And I'm not going to rest easy until they're finally put away safely in that New York museum, officially consigned.
Well, I have changed the padlock to the door on the 3rd floor just as a precaution.
I don't want to hear about that damn room anymore. And once the Golden Cradle and the artifacts are out of there, I want everything in that room destroyed, once and for all.
Mr. McCord, please. You will never have to see those things again, but don't...
No, that is an order. Everything must be destroyed.
I don't understand how Nola's cat gets into this passageway. I just don't understand it.
Helena!
And now, the award-winning Guiding Light. This portion is presented by the Comfortable Diaper, loves disposable diapers, and by Sunshine Fresh Mr. Clean. He helps keep no-wax floors shining bright.
Uh-oh.
What uh-oh? Well, you're installing my no-wax floor. Don't uh-oh.
Oh, the floor's fine. I forgot to explain how to clean it, to help keep it shiny.
Oh, well, the shine's built in.
Well, it still needs to be cleaned the right way.
Any suggestions?
Yep, Sunshine Fresh Mr. Clean is great.
For no-wax floors?
He doesn't dull a no-wax floor's shine. He works so well, even Armstrong approves.
Really?
Watch. If you lifted a no-wax floor's shine, you'd see the film many cleaners can leave. Not Mr. Clean. And no dulling film means more sunny shine.
If you say so, I'm for Mr. Clean.
Armstrong says so. Here.
For me?
I don't know. Oh, in the bottle.
Sunshine Fresh Mr. Clean helps keep no-wax floors shining bright.
Make a wish, Sarah. Come on.
I wish your second year's as happy as your first.
We know she'll be as comfortable. She's growing up in Love's.
Love's hourglass design cradles her in comfort.
All elastic diapers don't fit the same. Compare yours to Love's. Hold it up to the light. If the padding's wide, it has to bunch up between your baby's legs. Love's padding's curved to fit comfortably.
Oh, maybe next birthday you won't be quite this messy.
Just as long as you're this comfortable.
Your deepest comfort begins with love, love.
I love beautiful hair. Making it beautiful is the art of my profession.
Uh-huh.
Yet there are women who perm beautifully at home with lilt. You see, the key is in the roll-up. A bad roll-up shows frizzy. A good roll-up, beautiful curls. Only Lilt has these amazing sponges. They grip better, roll up better, for more beautiful hair. Lilt sponges help you roll up so professionally. It even makes me a little jealous.
Lilt's professional touch. Beautiful.
I demand to know what you're doing there.
Well, I just happened to stumble upon this just a few minutes ago. You see, I was in Quinton's lab on the second floor, and I was examining some things on the shelf.
Stop it, Helena, stop it. I don't want to hear any more of your lies. I'm sure this explains where you were last night and why Fritz didn't see you when you came in.
Obviously.
Mrs. Renfield, I'd like to talk to Helena alone. There's something I wish to discuss with her.
Of course.
Whether you believe me or not, Quinton, I was telling you the truth about stumbling onto the door that led to the hidden passageway.
Helena, I don't think you're capable of knowing what the truth is. I know that you've been slipping around this house ever since I allowed you to stay here. I also know you've been caught several occasions up on the third floor where you have no earthly business being. Now, I need your help in something. I'm not asking for a favor. I'm demanding it.
Oh?
I happen to believe that Silas Crocker somehow managed to break into this house and took Nola with him by force.
Oh, no. No, you're mistaken because, Nola's family said they got a message from her.
That doesn't change my opinion one bit. Now, what I want you to do is this. I want you to contact some of his friends and associates. Tell them you want to get back in his good graces and you need to contact them.
Quinton, you must be insane. Silas hates me almost as much as he hates you and Nola. Even if I were able to find some of his friends, Silas must have told them all that I went back over to your side. And they'd kill me as soon as look at me.
Well, I'm counting on your talent as a consummate liar to convince them otherwise, Helena.
That's ridiculous. They'd never believe me. They'd never even listen to me. If Silas is really alive, then he must already have a contract out on me, and he will stop at nothing to get his revenge.
And I will stop at nothing until Nola is safe and sound and back here, and you, my dear Helena, are going to help me do that.
Well, anyone close to Silas lives in London.
I know that. And I'm certain he contacted someone there for help. Now, when he escaped off that island, he had nothing on his person, so he must have contacted someone for financial assistance. And you and I are going to find that someone and track Silas down through him.
No, it can't be done. You're asking the impossible.
Helena, you've tried every way possible to convince me that you're on my side.
Quinton, I would do anything in this world to make you trust me again.
Fine. Then I'll give you the opportunity to do it. Yes, my name is Quinton McCord, and I'd like to make reservations for the next flight out of Springfield, connecting with the next flight to London, England.
So if everything goes as expected, we should be back in the middle of the week. Oh, there's a Floyd. I want to talk to you for a second. I'll talk to you later.
Yeah.
Floyd,
Glad to see that you're back in town.
Thank you. Sit down. I wanted to talk to you for a second. But,
I just wanted you to know that the message that I left asking you to recommend a new lawyer doesn't mean that I'm unhappy or dissatisfied with your work so far. It's just that when I called Angie, she didn't know when you were going to be back in town, and I know that Derek is going ahead with the custody suit, so I wanted to be on top of things if anything happened.
yeah, sure. No, I understand. Of course, I've been gone, and I'll be going away again just for a couple of days, I think, but I certainly understand.
Well, the thing that is very awkward for me is when I want to visit Kelly Louise at the boarding house is because Nola is there all the time now. And in fact, the last time I went there, it got to be a very unpleasant situation. What's wrong?
Well, I just assumed that you knew.
No what?
Nola isn't at the boarding house.
What do you mean? She's taken off again? Oh, that's typical of her. She just takes off whenever she wants. She doesn't care about anyone else. Does anybody know where she is?
No.
What do you mean?
Nobody knows where she is. You don't have to worry about the baby, though. Bea's taking care of her.
I can't believe this. She just takes off without telling anyone.
She left a note with her mother saying that Springfield was getting to be too much for her, and she wanted to try starting a new life someplace else.
In other words, she just left Kelly Louise behind and expected someone to take care of her.
Well, it appears that way, yeah.
That's exactly what happened, Mike. I mean, I'm no lawyer, but wouldn't this prove to the court that Nola is not a very good mother and that Kelly Louise would be better off with me? I mean, if this case went to court right now, wouldn't this count against Nola?
Well, it certainly isn't going to help her case any.
Well, then we got to act fast because I want custody of Kelly Louise.
Nice, very nice.
Thank you. 1 rehearsal, 4 actors, and 20 coffee cups. Around here, we don't like coffee, we love it. I look forward to my 6th cup as much as my first one. That's because my coffee's High Point decaffeinated. I don't need caffeine, I'm active enough, thank you. But that's just one reason this coffee lover chooses High Point. Oh, that aroma's wonderful. Just look at this deep, rich color. But you know what really matters to coffee lovers? This. Deep and rich. Flavor this good has to be deep brewed into a coffee.
Try High Point, the coffee lover's decaffeinated.
Deep brewed flavor. I think you'll really go for it.
Hey, thought you were brushing your teeth.
I was just thinking
About what?
about Teddy. He always wins.
Well, your brother's a lot older than you are.
He'll always be older than me.
I know how you could beat him right now.
How?
Come on. You could get even fewer cavities than Teddy, because he didn't have this crust at your age. Advanced formula crust has Floricet.
So?
So it's even tougher than the crust your brother had, or your mother had, or I had. When it comes to checkups, you could beat us all.
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe it's not so bad being the youngest after all.
Advanced formula crest, your kids could have even fewer cavities than you did.
Procter & Gamble is hoisting the sales for savings with terrific money-saving coupons. Look in this Sunday's paper for these coupons and redeem them for big savings on many of your favorite Procter & Gamble products. And there's a lot more. I can't tell you exactly what, but this boat is a hint. So check newspapers or store displays for complete details and get ready to sail for savings.
Friday, there's a hassle and hazard when Boss's new deputy has everyone in stir, and the Dukes are up in the air. Then on Dallas, JR's romance of Sue Ellen runs into trouble when Bobby's dark secret comes to light. And on Falcon Crest, Lance's falling in love threatens Angela's plans.
I disinherit you.
I have my own life. It's all Friday.
Oh, good, darling. I'm glad you're having such a marvelous time at Cat Antibes. I've always liked it. But don't you think you should be planning to come home? Well, you should be taking up your new responsibilities. That's Spaulding. They're in the midst of this Lewis Oil project. Yes. Well, I'm sure the young man is perfectly fascinating, but at the same time, I think you better make plans to come home. Oh, give my very best to Blanche. Have to go now, darling. Love you. Bye. Mike.
Hello, Henry. How are you?
Very good to see you again.
Good. Thank you.
I called your office and made an appointment to see
Yeah, I
you.
know. I'm glad that Angie could fit you in.
Oh.
Was that Vanessa you were just talking to?
It was. No.
When is she planning to come back?
I wish I could tell you. I tried to get her to cut short her vacation, but, well, she's met some young man, and, well, need I go on?
No, I think I get the picture.
Oh, excuse me. Alan, that potential client that I met with this morning,
Yes.
he's going to bring in the facts and figures that you wanted.
All right.
I think he could use some help in setting up his business on a firm basis.
Yeah, Henry, I'd appreciate it if you and Hope could meet with him and go over the preliminaries, and then you can fill me in later. I'd like to have a little time to discuss some legal matters with Mike. It's the only chance I'm going to get before he leaves again.
Oh, yes, certainly. Excuse me.
Well, don't worry, darling. We're going to take very good care of our new prospective client.
Good.
And I want to thank you very much for a lovely lunch.
Yeah, I loved it.
I'm sorry that you can't make dinner with us tonight. Al and Michael would have loved to see you.
Well, I'll come by and see Al and Michael before I leave. I
Okay.
promise. See you later.
Bye. See you later, darling.
Bye, darling.
Bye.
See you, Henry. I didn't want to say this while Hope was here, but I Had dinner with Ivy Pierce last night. She told me about her investigation.
Did she tell you that I finally met Quentin McCord?
Yeah. She said that you found him to be very hostile.
Yes, it was very apparent. Though, it doesn't make any sense to me.
Well, she's having the Bureau check him out, although the information that they have seems to be very sketchy.
I found out something else while you were gone. I found out the truth about Philip's parentage.
Oh, really?
Yes, Justin blurted it out in a moment of anger, and then a little later on, he told me the whole story.
Well, I'm sorry that you had to find it out that way. But I think it's best that you know. Just hope nobody.
No, I haven't told her yet, but I plan to. I can understand why Justin's concerned about Philip finding out, and I agree with Justin and Elizabeth that the fewer people that know about it, the less chance there is that that'll happen.
Yeah, I think that's true.
And from the last phone conversation I had with Philip, he's having a difficult time dealing with some things right now, and it would be just an impossible time for him to learn something like this. It would shake his security to the roots.
Yeah, I suppose that's true. Well, the people that do know about it are people that care about Philip, so I would think that his chances of finding out would be relatively small.
Yes, I hope that's true, but it's going to make things a bit tricky if Philip decides to come back here and finish high school at Springfield High.
Oh, really? Why do you say that?
Well, I haven't had the heart to tell Justin, but when we did speak the last time, Philip said that if he does come back, he might want to live with Hope and me.
Oh. Yes, that could be a problem.
See if you have a fever.
How'd work go?
Fine, it's you I'm worried about. Does it say anything in those books about sunstroke?
I told you I was going to have to study while I was here.
Study away. I just hope you're not going blind.
What a place to study. Oh, man, I sure pity those other clerks working all day at Cedars. Locked in the med school library at night. No sun, no air.
I don't care. My husband deserves a vacation.
You won't get any argument from me about that, but you might get it from them.
So what? Put some suntan lotion on me, please.
They're already jealous anyway, because my wife is such a big, successful model.
Who's jealous?
The clerks at the med school. They always give me a hard time about it.
Does that bother you?
Nah, they're just jealous.
You know, I think probably another reason why they're so jealous is because they know that Ed is your godfather, so...
Believe me, that's one thing. They don't envy me. They see how much harder he works me than he does anybody else. You know, it's really great to see Ed in such a good mood lately now that he has Maureen.
You know, I wonder when he's going to get up the nerve to ask Maureen to marry him like I had to ask you last summer.
Hey, you have a one-track mind, you know that? Come on, let's go in.
Can I help it if all doctors need a little push?
What?
Somebody's got to tell Maureen that all medical men are a little slow in their proposal department.
What, is that so?
Yeah.
Tell us what you think. Take it back.
No! I had as opposed to you!
Yeah, because you didn't give me a chance. Now take it back.
Take it back, I take it back!
What do you say?
Doctors aren't slow to propose.
Louder, I want that funny little man in the bathing suit to hear it.
Doctors aren't slow.
All right, that's
They're just bullies!
More people take Unisom than any other sleep aid because millions have discovered that Unisom works. They fall asleep faster. Only Unisom has doxylamine, and Unisom was proven effective in medical tests. People fell asleep faster, significantly faster than they did without Unisom, and slept better all night. For occasional sleeplessness, more people trust Unisom. Take Unisom and fall asleep faster.
Dan?
Ooh, I thought
thought it was your mother.
You're cheating on your diet. You're going to lose your bet with Mom.
Only if she catches me.
Oh, she's going to catch that ketchup stain, especially with $50 at stake.
When I was young and thin, money never meant a thing to your mother.
We could wash it.
We could?
Pour out the cheer. I'll start the warm water.
It's better use hot just to make sure there's $50 riding on this.
Leave it to Cheer. Cheer's really tough in warm and cold.
You sure?
That's why it's called the all-temperature detergent, see?
Warm, cold.
Mom washes lots of things in warm and cold. That's why she uses Cheer. Look, it'll clean my jeans. It'll clean your robe.
Oh, I hope so. I'm too weak to argue.
Hi, you did the laundry.
Morning. The robe looks terrific.
What? He said the clothes look terrific. They do. What'd you need?
A blouse. A blouse and jeans.
All temperature cheer. Tough on dirt, even in cooler water. All temperature.
We'll continue with part 2 of Guiding Light in a moment. Monday on MASH, will Hawkeye's demand for privacy cost him his friendships? Then on the premiere of Filthy Rich, TV's newest rich folks are trying to kill each other over the family fortune. And on an all-new episode, Cagney and Lacey must protect a controversial politician marked for death. Monday at 9, 8 Central and Mountain. This is CBS.
As you can see, the same long-distance call to the same place at the same time doesn't cost the same. Fact is, it can be half as much on MCI, the nation's long-distance phone company. If your long-distance bills are more than $25 a month, make one more call to MCI and join more than 1 million people across the country cutting those bills down to size. You haven't been talking too much, just paying too much.
Oh, the things you learn at family reunions. What's that, cousin? Oh, well, you use Velveeta. Oh, I know. But that's what our moms used. Don't you cook with natural cheeses? Well, what do you think goes into Velveeta?
Velveeta is more than one cheese. It's cheddar and other natural cheeses, milk and other wholesome ingredients blended in a special process. So it melts smoother, it cooks easier than any chunk cheese alone.
You really know your cheeses.
When you know about Velveeta, you know about cheeses, naturally.
America, you spend hours each day watching the tube. Now open your eyes to the wizardry that makes it work. Inside Out, the magic of TV, tonight at 7:30.
Outspoken director Ilya Kazan at 5.
This portion of Guiding Light is presented by Coast Soap, the refreshing soap that brings you back to life. Coast Deodorant Soap, the eye-opener. And by Prel, the shampoo that frees your hair to be beautifully full and thick.
Now, you see, I've been called out of town unexpectedly. I don't know when I'll return, but I promise you once I do return, I will crate the artifacts and the Golden Cradle and bring them to New York personally. Yes. Well, thank you very much. Goodbye.
Fritz has taken your bags and Helena's out to the car. You know, I had to help her to pack. She did everything possible to put it off.
Well, I'm sure she would.
Mr. McCord, I think you're making a terrible, terrible mistake in believing that Helena is going to help you in any of this.
Don't worry about that, Mrs. Renfield. I'll force her to cooperate once we get to London. If she refuses, then I'll threaten to turn her over to some of Silas's friends. She seems awfully terrified of them.
Well, I just think that's part of an act. Just another little scheme of hers to make you believe that she's Silas Crocker's enemy. Don't trust her. Not for a minute.
Well, as I told you before, I'm forced to. She's the one chance I have of finding Crocker and finding Nola before... Well, look, Mrs. Renfield, once again, Nola is in danger, and it's all my fault. So I must find her. In the meantime, I've contacted Gunther. He'll come and stay at the house while I'm away.
And I've contacted the kennels. They will send 2 new guard dogs out to replace Damien and Lucifer.
Well, dogs didn't seem to keep Silas away before. I'll feel much better once Gunther is here fully armed.
Very well. I wish you a safe journey. I'm deeply concerned about you. And after you've found Nola, I hope that you will start to think of yourself.
Fritz just took my bags, but I wish there was some way I could get you to give up this foolish idea. Even if I could find some of Silas's friends, they'd never tell me anything. And you and I could both be killed if Silas even suspects we're on his trail.
Helena, I don't want to hear any more of your melodramatic nonsense. Now, we're going, and that's final.
Excuse me, Mr. McCoy. I'm ready to drive you to the airport, but we have to hurry, not much time.
Well, thank you, Fritz. Mrs. Renfield, you know where to reach us in case anyone in Springfield hears from Nola.
Yes.
Now, if the authorities come while I'm away and ask any questions about me or where I'm at, you must tell them that I was called away on an urgent business trip. Now, under no circumstances are you to tell them that this trip has anything to do with Nola's disappearance.
I hope they don't ask any more questions. Lieutenant Wyatt was after me for an hour after Mrs. Renfield told him that I cleaned Miss Nola's room the night she disappeared because Miss Manzini wanted to move in right away. And then Lieutenant Wyatt kept asking me over and over if I saw anything that might be evidence of a struggle there. And I said, no, the room was just the way Miss Nola left it, except for that old coin that belonged to Miss Manzini.
What coin was that?
Well, it was gold. It was very old, and Miss Manzini said it was Greek, and she was happy for me that I found it for her.
Silas's lucky coin.
Oh, no, it's not that at all. It's just something I found. Don't you think I would have told you and the police if I had found Silas's lucky coin?
Show it to me, Helena.
I don't know what I did with it. We're late for the airport. We should be leaving.
This eagerness of yours to go to London touches me to no end, but I want to see this coin. You're a liar, Helena. It's Silas's lucky piece, which means you've known all along that Silas Crocker came here and took Nola.
Oh, don't you think your mother would enjoy it?
Well, I'm sure she would, but I don't think I'll ever be able to convince her to stay at Ed's at night as long as Nola was gone.
Oh, that's too bad. I'm sure she'd enjoy it, and the pool is there. I know it would take Tony's mind off of her.
Yeah, well, I haven't given up entirely on the idea. Obie Reardon's are very stubborn. We got it from her. She's pretty hard to budge once she's made up her mind.
Hi. Well, by some miracle, I'm ready to leave. I've talked to Sarah and Adam. They know my schedule. They know where I'll be in Toronto in case they have to reach me in case of an emergency.
Ah, don't worry about us. It's going to run smoothly while you're gone.
Yeah?
I hope everything goes okay with Rita.
Oh, a fast, civilized divorce. That's what I want. No bitterness. I hope you know the pool is there to be used, so please, use it.
Okay, I'll tell Tony we should go there instead of Laurel Falls.
Good. What do you say? Want to go?
Mm-hmm. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Oh, Marie, I've been looking all over for you.
Oh, I'm sorry, Floyd. I've been real busy today because I'm getting everything in order for Ed to leave tomorrow.
Well, I just want to let you know I'm going to be by the boarding house after work tonight to visit Kelly Louise since Nola's not there. But don't worry, I found out that Nola skipped town, Mike Bauer told me.
Well, I guess you would have found out sooner or later, but please don't worry about Kelly Louise while Nola's away. She's being very well taken care of.
Well, I'm sure of that.
Okay, well, I've got to get home.
Okay, see you.
Bye-bye.
Oh, Floyd, when are you having your next big party?
Well, in fact, Josh just told me that Air Supply are coming to Springfield at the beginning of next week, and they're going to be staying over at my house for a couple of nights, so I guess then. And Josh is going to New York tomorrow to firm things up, so I'll know for sure.
Oh, good. Talked to Leslie Ann. She told me you bought a car about, a city block long.
Yeah, but I'm going to still hold on to the old one so I can drive it to work here because the parking space is not big enough for the limo.
Oh, I'll tell you, you've come a long way since taking me out for beer and pizza.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you, sometimes I miss the way things were back then. You know, everything was a lot less complicated.
Well, I must say, I think you're doing a great job of keeping your head straight. I don't think the success has changed you one bit at all.
Well, I hope not, Hillary. I appreciate that. You know, Leslie Ann has helped in that department. I don't know what I'd do without her, really.
I don't think you'll have to worry about finding out.
So, did you hear that Nola left town again and left Kelly Louise with her mom?
Yeah, I heard that. I know everybody's really worried about her.
Well, I'm not worried about Nola. She's only doing what she wants and thinking of herself as usual. But I'll tell you, she's done me a big favor this time by skipping town. I mean, even Mike Bowers told me that's going to help my case.
Floyd, as long as you and I have known each other, we've always been honest, all right?
Yeah.
Now, I know everybody else is pussyfooting around about this custody case. I just have to tell you how I feel. Now, I understand how much you've been hurt. And, you know, I've never been a big champion of Nola's. But I think she's been a terrific mother to Kelly Louise. And I think we really should wait and see what reason she had for leaving town before you try to use it to take the baby away from her. Look, Look, I like you too much to stand by and watch you regret doing something out of hurt or anger. That's it. That's the end of my lecture. You just have to say it.
That's wonderful news, Bill. I can't wait to tell Kelly. Okay, I'll check in tomorrow for messages at the desk. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye. You are not going to believe this.
Believe what? I could tell that something pretty exciting had happened from your end of the conversation.
Listen, they've decided to change the last shot of the location, so tomorrow they're going to be scouting a new place on the other end of the island, which means I have the whole day off.
Really? Well, that's fantastic.
Now, tonight, we don't have to go in early. We can go to that big hotel that we passed when we were sightseeing and have a nice dinner and dance all night long.
Oh, it's been so long since one of us hasn't had an early call, I've forgotten what it's like to stay in bed all morning.
You know, you never did tell me where you were this afternoon when I came home for lunch and I spoke to Ed on the phone.
Yeah, well, it's a secret. But you'll find out about it.
I hate secrets.
Yeah, I know, and I do too. And I know we promised we would never keep secrets from each other. Listen, I tell you what, we won't call it a secret. We'll call it a surprise. Is that better? Honey, what's wrong?
Nothing. What could possibly be wrong? You're here with me and we have off all day tomorrow, but tomorrow there are a few things I want to talk to you about, okay?
Well, you know, that's about the third or fourth time you've said that. Maybe we should delay. Let's just make the time right now and talk about whatever it is.
No, tonight's for us. We're just going to have fun. Anything serious we have to discuss, we'll discuss tomorrow, okay?
If you're ready for the fullest hair you can have, watch it wake up with Prel. To the full, fuller, fullest it can be. Watch it wake up with Prel. If you're ready for the thickest hair you can have, watch it wake up with Prel. To the thicker, thickest it can be. Watch it wake up with Prel. Prel's fullness formula wakes up tired hair with lather that lifts and separates each strand, so your hair has all the body it needs to be its fullest, thickest, fluffiest. So watch it get full, watch it get big. For really beautiful hair, watch it wake up with Prel.
I shouldn't exercise. I'm in no shape for physical fitness.
All you need is a shower.
I need more than a shower.
You still don't feel better? Hold up your hand.
I can't lift it.
Here, try this soap. It's cold.
Is this a deodorant soap?
Uh-huh.
Gee, Coke smells sensational. And it feels sensational. Look at all this lather. You know what? I do feel better. I never thought I'd feel this good again.
See? And it'll be even easier for you the next time.
No other soap picks you up quite like Coast, the eye-opener.
Procter & Gamble is hoisting the sales for savings with terrific money-saving coupons. Look in this Sunday's paper for these coupons and redeem them for big savings on many of your favorite Procter & Gamble products. And there's a lot more. I can't tell you exactly what, but this boat is a hint. So check newspapers or store displays for complete details and get ready to sail for savings.
Isn't that right? You know, I think he's gained 25 pounds.
And he's trying to walk now. He walks around grabbing on pieces of furniture and pulling himself up.
Oh.
You really see a big difference in a baby his age when you haven't seen him in a few weeks.
Isn't that true?
Yeah.
And you know, I see a big difference in this place, too.
Oh, well.
This place is looking great.
Hope gets all the credit for that. I don't know where you find the time to do everything.
Thank you. I have never been happier in my life. Everything is perfect now.
Well, it certainly shows. And I'm glad everything's working out in your new business. And Henry, I talked to him, and he said that he's delighted to be working with you and avoiding some of the pressures that spoiled him.
Yeah, Henry's going to be an invaluable asset to my new company, I can tell you that. But I'm afraid that I've done a little disservice to Amanda by bringing him in. I mean, she relies on his support so heavily, and I try to give her whatever advice I can, but it's not the same. I mean, it's not the same as having Henry there constantly, almost paternally, giving her support.
Yeah. I talked to Brenda Lauer. She said that Amanda's going through kind of an emotional
problem right now.
Yes, I spoke to Amanda in her office today. She's very withdrawn. She keeps talking about taking a vacation, and I encourage her, but she hasn't made any definite plans.
Oh, sweetheart, you know how that is. I can remember when I had all the trouble in the world getting you out of that office because you felt if you left, the whole place would fall apart. Amanda's just suffering from the same malady. I mean, she'll be fine.
Fortunately, those days are over for me now. As soon as things are smoothed out in the new office, we three are going to take a trip down to our island.
Oh, well, just tell me when, and I'm going to be ready and packed.
Well, I'm going to take Alan Michael upstairs and get him ready for bed.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, sweetheart.
Okay.
Hey, big boy.
There you go. Good night. Good night.
Hang on.
There you go.
Kiss Mommy goodnight.
Okay. I'll come up and give him a hug. That's the last time I see him before I go to Canada.
Well, we'll be all ready for you.
Okay.
How about saying goodnight to Dad?
Night, sweetheart.
It's a big boy. Here we go. Here we go.
Dad, Alan and I would like to talk to you about something. We know that tomorrow when you fly out with Uncle Ed to Canada, the first thing you will do when you find Rita, since you've been searching for her for a year, is discuss the divorce.
That's the whole point of the trip, Hope.
Ed has been very honest with us. He said that he wouldn't use adultery as grounds for divorce unless for some reason Rita refused to give him a divorce or made demands that he felt he couldn't meet.
Yeah, well, let's hope it doesn't come to that.
I hope that, too.
Well, Dad, what we're trying to say is that if it does come to that and Uncle Ed is forced to use the adultery for his divorce, we can deal with it.
That's quite a testimonial to your marriage. And, of course, you know what a heyday the press would make out of this whole thing if it goes to court.
Well, we've dealt with a lot of notoriety in our marriage before, and I think we can handle this if it comes to that.
You don't know how happy it makes me to know that you're so happy and secure in your home with your family.
I told you, I've never been happier in my life. Except there's just one little thing.
What?
I would feel a lot happier if you had somebody to build a life with yourself.
Huh. Well, I'm working on that, but not everybody's as lucky as you are.
Wait a minute. This is the best news I've had. Now, what does this mean? When are you going to tell me? Come on.
I'm working on it.
Well, everything's set to go in the kitchen, so just give me a holler whenever you're ready.
All right. Should take about 10 minutes for these to heat up anyway.
Well, then you want to go in for a swim?
I was going to wait till later, but if you want to take a dip before we eat, that's fine. I'm game.
No, I'd rather wait, too.
Yeah?
Yeah. Maybe that'll help.
Help what?
Help you get out of this mood you've been in ever since you picked me up.
Sorry.
No, don't apologize. My God, everybody's entitled to a mood. I don't mind that. It's just that ever since I've known you, you've always helped me out of all my depressions. I wish you'd let me return the favor.
I'm so glad you're here. And I just wish...
What? You wish what?
What I said earlier. I wish that you would use the place and use the house while I was gone, that's all.
You know, for the first time since I've known you, I don't think you're being completely honest with me.
Why do you say that? Huh?
But I already told you I'd be here until Kelly got back. I'll look after the house. I'll check the mail. I may go in for a swim. So I don't think that's what you were going to say a minute ago.
You really are a witch.
I really am.
It was something else, but I can't find the words to say it, so...
I didn't think there was anything that you and I couldn't talk about. I'm sorry you feel that way. I'm sorry you feel you have to choose your words carefully.
Well, let's not fall out about it. I mean, it was a childish wish. Let's just forget about it.
No, I won't. Because I think I know what you were going to say. Oh, Ed, there have been so many nights where I knew I had to face something difficult the next day, and I didn't want to be alone. You wanted me to stay here with you, didn't you?
Yes, I do. But not for the reason I wanted you to stay before. I'd like you to stay so I could have someone to talk to when I need to. I'd like you to stay just to be here. And to be with me in the morning.
There's no place else I could be.
Could you bake a better cake than a pastry chef?
I really didn't know, but I do know how good my Duncan Hines cakes are. So I agreed to test one against a cake baked by Chef David of San Francisco's famous Canlis restaurant. My cake looked good, but the judge was Chris Canlis, the owner of the restaurant. That was Chef David's cake.
It's tasty, but the texture is a little bit dry.
Then he tried mine.
Good flavor, moist, very good. That's a great cake. Duncan Hines. I think that's an exceptional cake. That's all a cake ought to be.
Duncan Hines cakes, so moist and delicious you can make them better than a pastry chef's cake. Now taste something new, a carrot cake so moist, so delicious, it's the first carrot cake good enough to be Duncan Hines.
Honey, you'll get chilly. Here.
Oh, you washed it. I was going to do that. We share the housework.
Then how come I do the laundry?
Well, hey, where's the softness this usually has?
Oh? He noticed. You didn't use Downy. There's a big difference without the softener.
And where's that nice fresh smell?
It ought to smell fresh now. I just washed it. You know only Downy makes your clothes smell April fresh.
Only Downy combines April freshness with skin-loving softness. Helps rinse out static cling.
Honey, this shirt feels soft again. And smells fresh.
He sure notices the difference.
You don't need me to do the laundry.
Not when it's your turn to cook.
April Fresh Downy. A noticeable improvement.
The water's almost as calm as it was last night.
Tide's higher.
Kelly, where was that fire you built the other night? Remember the one you cooked all the fish on?
It was further at the beach, I think.
See that rock jutting up out there? That was the one that we stood on and watched all those tropical fish.
I was hoping we should have cooked them.
They're probably all gone now.
Oh, vacation's over. Now we're back to the jobs.
I hate the thought of you leaving so soon.
Me too. It'll just be a couple days.
It seemed like forever.
No, just a couple days.
I don't even want to think about it. Kelly, right now, let's just pretend that this is our own island and our very own beach. And we're the only people here forever.
No, why? Why'd you stop?
I act like such a baby.
You don't.
Yes, I do. Whenever something goes wrong or I don't know how to deal with something, I just bury my head in the sand.
You don't. Not anymore.
Kelly, tell me the truth. Before we were married, did you ever once think that... agree with my mother and think that maybe I was too young or too immature to be married?
No.
I think I've grown up a lot since then, don't you?
Sure. We both have. That doesn't mean that I think there was anything so terribly wrong with us to begin with, you know. I mean, I, for one, kind of liked us back then.
I love it. I love everything about it. The way I proposed to you and the way you and I planned our wedding all by ourselves without anyone else.
Well, somebody might have called that a little immature, I guess.
I don't care.
Neither do I. You know what?
What?
As long as we're alive, young or old, there's one thing that's never going to change. That's how much we need each other. That's what brought us together in the first place.
I needed you then, and I need you now. I'll always need you.
It's one thing that'll just grow right along with us. Not that swim.
Kelly first. Make love.
what you must be feeling, Ed. I'd like to explain.
No, I don't want to hear any explanations from you. I mean, I know what happened. You had an affair with my wife. If it weren't for Hope, I would have found you when I first heard out about it and faced you with the truth then. But now, I don't know. I'm torn because I love my niece. I love her very much, and I don't know if she should have to find out the kind of man she's married to. I don't know if she should have to face the same kind of truth I faced with Rita.
Please, you must believe that neither Rita nor I plan.
What I want is for you to get the hell out of here before I forget that I'm in a hospital. Now, I owe you something. I owe you a big favor, because if it weren't for you, I never would have found out the kind of woman that I'm married to. As far as I'm concerned, you and Rita, you two deserve each other. Well, when I asked you to stay with me, endless brooding silence wasn't part of the bargain. I'm sorry.
Oh, don't be sorry. You have a long, difficult day ahead of you. What have you been thinking about?
I've been thinking about Rita. And Alan.
Alan Spaulding was the one responsible for your breakup with Rita? Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. I know how much that must have hurt you.
Yes, it did. Thanks to you, I've learned to believe in things again. And I'm eternally grateful. Because it's a wonderful feeling.
When it comes to getting... You have to believe that I want to find Silas and make everything up to him. No, Silas wasn't killed. I know he's still alive, and I have proof of it. I'm sure you'd be one of the first people he'd contact. I'm in London now, and I'm staying at the Chesterfield Apartments. So if you hear from Silas, would you please tell him how sorry I am and ask him to call me here? Thank you. Goodbye. It's no use. Everyone I've contacted since we've been here thinks Silas was killed. They've neither heard from him nor do they expect to.
Well, we're not giving up yet. Silas had to have someone's help. He never could have gotten Nola out of Springfield without someone's assistance. Let's see. Oh, yes. His old friend and colleague, Jamie Loomis. He's even more despicable than Silas. I remember he was on that dig with you and Silas when Nola and I first came to London.
I can't call Jamie Loomis.
Why not? You were all as thick as thieves at one time.
He's a cold-blooded killer.
Just the kind of person Silas would call to aid him in a kidnap plot.
There's no answer.
Let it ring longer.
Hello?
Is this Jamie Loomis?
It is. Who is this?
Helena. Helena Manzini.
I ought to hang up on you right now, you dirty turncoat.
Jamie, I'm trying to locate Silas, and you have to help me. Do you have any idea where he is?
I do. But you'd be the last person on earth that I'd ever tell. Silas told me if I ever saw you again, I should slit your throat from ear to ear just to even his score.
He's heard from him, hasn't he? Hasn't he?
Morning, Henry.
Oh, Mike, I'm sorry to have hauled you out this early in the morning.
No, that's all right. I was up and around getting ready to pick up Ed to go to the airport to go to Canada.
Oh, would you like some coffee?
Yeah, I will. Thanks a lot. Your voice sounded like this was urgent over the phone.
Well, it is, Mike, it is. I had a call from the attorneys in Mexico City who've been handling Stephanie Ryan's estate.
Well, the estate's all settled, isn't it?
Oh.
I mean, once Sean got that paperwork from India to the Mexican attorneys, why, there was no choice but to settle, right?
No, that's right, that's right. But now they've come up with something mystifying and very disturbing.
They were able to get hold of a copy of the passport application that Sean had signed when he was 15 and ran away to England. They compared that with the signature on the papers that the lawyers used to settle his mother's estate. The signatures don't match.
Well, you know, of course, one's handwriting can change a lot from the time they're 15.
Oh, I know, and they've taken that into consideration, but they submitted the two signatures to a handwriting expert, and they've just had a report back.
What did that say?
It says that the recent signature was that of someone who had obviously been taught handwriting in a European school, so it couldn't possibly have been Sean's. Now, what do you make of all this?
You know, I'm not getting in that shower until you tell me what the surprise is.
Well, now I've had another thought on that, see, and I'm afraid you're going to have to wait a couple more days before you find out what it is.
Kelly, I'm married to a sadist.
No, you're not. Listen, I have my reasons, and when you find out what it is, you'll find out why. Now, get in that shower before you use up all the hot water.
You know, you should have never told me there was a surprise.
Dear Morgan, this is a surprise I was going to give you the night we danced until the sun came up. Took that wonderful walk along the beach at dawn. And then I decided I'd rather have you find it after I left so you'd have something to remember me by. Another reason for hurrying home. I hope you love this little sugar mill as much now as when we saw it together in that jewelry shop. I love you very much, and I'll always need you. All my love, Kelly. Right here in her makeup case. When she goes to work, she'll open it up.
This has been the award-winning Guiding Light. Provided by Lily Rubin Salon, South Southwest, Albert Nippon, and Barney's. Monday for another full hour of Guiding Light.